What's good, everyone? And welcome back to another video. Um, today's topic is gonna be about trees, and specifically it's binary trees, since that's like the most basic one yet. Or it's like the introduction to like, once you know what it is, you'll be able to start learning about other trees as well. Um, and so, yeah, I think this is probably the next topic after. So I'll just start. Okay, let's start. So what is a tree? Um, Basically, from what we've seen so far, we in the linear data structures are like arrays, linked lists, stacks, and queues. All of them are just one dimensional. Like you either move left, move right, or next, previous, all of that. And so a tree is different because it is a hierarchical structure. Instead of putting data in a straight line, we organize it in a branching shape. And so when we were to draw it, it would kind of look similar to sort of like what a tree would look like. Something like that. And so like the best way to say it is like a tree is a collection of nodes and they are connected by edges. There's no cycle, meaning you can't start at a node, follow edges, and come back to it. There's one special node called the root, and I'll explain what it is later. Every node except the root has exactly one parent. So one parent, except the root, by the way, except this. And a node can have either 0 or more children. So that's the gist of what a tree is. Now I'll be explaining what a binary tree is. So here's a binary tree. So a binary tree is just a tree where each node has at most 2 children, and we usually call them left or right. So if I were to draw like a simple binary tree, it'll look something like this. 4, 5, 6. Node 1 is the root. Node 2 is called the left child of 1. 3 is the right child of 1. 4 is left child of 2. 5 is right child of 2. 6 is right child of 3. Not only that, but when you look at 4, 5, and 6, they have no children. No children. So they are called leaf. They are leaves. There we go. So some important terminologies, which are words that you most likely use a lot when it comes to learning trees, is first we have root. Root is the topmost node. For example, R1. Parent and child, if there is an edge, say from root 1 to root 2, then 1 is the parent, 2 is the child. Same with 3, by the way. 3 is also the child of 1, like I mentioned. Their siblings. Siblings are nodes that share the same parent. So, for example, 2 and 3 are siblings. 4 and 5 are siblings. 6 is not a sibling because there's no like another child. And we have leaf. Leaf is a node with no children, so 4, 5, and 6 are leaf. There's also internal node. Internal node. These are any node that has at least one child, right? So, for example, 1, 2, and 3 are internal nodes. 3 has at least one child, which is 6. 1 has 2. Node 2 has 2 child as well. Edges or edge. We have edge. And these are a connection between the 2 nodes. So it's like a parent-child link. So for example, 1, 2, that's an edge. This line would be the edge. 1, 3, that's also an edge. 2, 4, 2, 5, 3, 6, they're all edges. Now a path a path is a sequence of nodes connected by edges, right? So for example, let's say I want to go path from 1 to 5. Path 1 to 5. When we look at the tree, we would notice that the 1 has to go through 2 first, and then it hits 5. So the actual path on how to get there is 1 to 2 to 5. There's depth or level, depending on I guess your professor, how they want to say it. I'll probably just call it level. So I'm sort of thinking of it like I'm in a level, like each floor or each layer is like a level-ish. Level of a node or depth are basically number of edges from the root to that node. So for example, root right here would be like depth 0 or level 0. When you go down to where 2 and 3 is, this is level 1. 4, 5, and 6 is level 2. So think of it as like index. You start at 0, and then when you go down, it goes to 1. When you go down again, it goes to 2. Height of it, there's also height of a node. So depth and height are two separate things, by the way. So height of a node is basically longest path from that node down to a leaf. So counting edges. Height of a leaf is gonna be 0, and then the height of the entire tree, meaning height of the root. So let's say we take our tree as an example. 4, 5, and 6 is height 0. The height of 2, when we look at node 2 over here, node 2, it has, we want to look at what is the longest downward path. So if there was, say, like another path down here that's like 5, and then over here that's like 6 or something, then the longest path from node 2 to 5 would be height of 2. Okay, and we do not count 2 to 6 because 2 to 6 is not the longest downward path. 2 to 5 is. If we look at the 3 to 6, the longest downward path from node 3 to 6 is 1. So 3 to 6 would be 1. While on the left side, if there was like another node here being like 7, then 2, 4, and 7, that would be the longest downward path for node 2, and that would be the height of 2 here. And if we were to say, let's say we start at the very top, right, at the root, where the height of our node 1, what would be the longest path? The longest path would be 1, 2, 4, then 7. So that would be the height of 3. If it was 1, 3, and 6, say that this 7 isn't here, then the longest path would be either 1, 2, 4, 1, 2, 5, 1, 3, 6, and that's only 2 edges. So that would be height of 2. Height of 2. So best way to summarize it, depth or level is distant from root. Height is distant to the furthest leaf. Distant to furthest leaf. There we go. So, why do we sort of like care about trees, right? You'd be questioning why do I need to learn about this? In a way, it's like in a real world ish like structure. It's something like, for example, file system. File system itself is like a tree form with like folders and files. It's kind of like tree. So folders, files. And if you think about it, let's say we have a folder that's going to be our main folder. And that main folder itself has like other types of folders. And this is, by the way, this isn't like, why do we care about binary trees? This is just trees in general. Like, for example, this main folder itself inside has like folder 1, folder 2 that you organize, folder 3, and so on. And then inside of those like folders are like file 1, file 2, and then inside of folder 2, it has like another file 1, file 2, and so on. So in a way, it's like something like a file system that everyone pretty much uses, has like the structure of a tree. If you learn like if you have learned HTML DOM, that is like about elements inside elements. So that's also like a tree structure. Organization or company chart, that's also like a tree, it's sort of like a tree. So you have the CEO into like different managers, so manager 1, manager 2, and then each manager has his own employee, so employee 1, employee 2, employee 3, employee 4, like that. So again, it's like it's like a tree here, a tree here, a tree here. That all of these are like a lot of tree structures. So it's to some degree, it is pretty important to learn about. Not only that, but many important data structures has like a lot of special kinds of trees. So one really good one is the BST, which is binary search tree. Another one that you will, in these things, you'll definitely learn in like algorithm courses. So we have heaps, or basically priority queues, if you would call it. There we go. Priority queues. BST is binary search tree. Like that. There's other trees like segment, BIT, all of that. So, and not only that, but learning trees, it's also like a way to help you get ready for learning graphs. Because once you understand trees really well, like BST heaps, then many of the graph algorithms becomes like really easy to understand. Not only that, but like even recursions, right? A lot of recursions examples are like tree shaped. So there's that. But for now, this is kind of basically it for learning about like the binary trees. It has like so for example, some of the advantage of binary trees, right, is like it has a good efficient search. For example, the binary search tree. By the way, the binary search tree is a variant, okay? It's a variant of binary tree. It's efficient when searching for a specific element, or when you want to insert or delete, things like that. It's because each node has at most 2 child nodes when compared to linked lists in array. So it has like the memory is efficient because binary tree requires less memories as compared to other tree data structure. Therefore, it's memory efficient. And it's relatively easy to implement for binary trees. So there's that. Now, some of the disadvantage for binary trees is it's definitely like limited structure. So limited structure. Because binary trees are only limited to 2 child nodes per node, right? Which can limit their usefulness in certain applications. So let's say, for example, if a tree needs more than 2 child nodes per node, then a different tree structure is definitely more suitable or efficient. It's also like, so in a basically space inefficiency, right? When compared to other data structure like array or linked list, binary trees can be space inefficient. And it's because like each node requires 2 child references or pointers, which is like it can significantly amount of which can be a significant amount of memory overhead for large trees. So there is that. Afterward, I think I'll be try to talk about like traversals, and then this is basically it for the main part of the binary tree. Afterward, I'll be talking other things like what BFS is, DFS, breadth first search, depth first search, and like the traversal. So like in order traversal, pre-order traversal, post-order traversal, all of that. And I'll also explain how exactly do you implement these sort of things, you know? Let's see. I'm trying to think. What else can I sort of talk about? Actually, I think that's kind of it, right? Yeah. Yeah, that's basically it. So, this is the very introduction of what a tree is, specifically binary trees. And then with the next video, I'll talk about more details about how to like use it and when you code it out and stuff like that. And then after that, I'll do like some leak code or either leak code on it, or I can do like a different tree. So it really depends. All right, thanks for watching.